Hi guys, it's Tamara Klasarik, one of the coaches here at Social Media College. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to structure a Facebook ads campaign. Now, before you get started and before you jump here into the business manager, you really want to have all of your assets ready to go so that when you're actually building your campaign, you're not sitting there trying to think of what to write and what assets to put in there, such as images and videos and things like that. So before we do that, you actually have to think about how you're going to structure the campaign. So it's not just about what copy your ad is going to have and what photo or video you're going to have. You actually have to think through the entire structure of the campaign. So when you actually go to build it, it's all been thought out. And I think the best way to take you through how to plan for a campaign is for us to actually build one in real time. And then you're going to see all of the elements that's needed to actually build a campaign. So you can go back and you can plan your campaigns out before you actually go in and build them, because you just don't want to be doing that at the last minute. You want your campaigns to be really considered and really thought through so they can have the most impact. So what we're going to do is we're going to go straight into the ads manager. So this is the business manager for the Social Cafe, and the Social Cafe is our faux cafe in Sydney. And to build a campaign, we're going to head up to the menu in the top left-hand corner. We're going to select Ads Manager, which you'll usually find in the frequently used once you've started building a few campaigns. And if not, you'll jump down to All Tools and you will find it in the pillar called Create and Manage, and it's usually the second one down. So Ads Manager is where we go to build all of our campaigns. It's where the ads are managed. Okay, great. So you can already see now the key layers of the campaign simply by how the ads manager is laid out for you. So these three tabs pretty much dictate to you the three layers needed in a campaign. And we'll start off at the top level because you have to actually create the campaign first. So an ad campaign has three levels, just like those tabs. The top level is the campaign level. This is where you set your marketing objectives. The ad set level is next. And this is where you will set your audiences and your budget and your placements. And then the third layer is the ads layer. This is where the actual ads, the ads that you see in your feed that you scroll through, that's where you actually build the ads. And so before you build those ads, you have to pre-plan everything else. So to start a campaign, we're actually going to hit that create button. This is just an old one that I have done before. And you're going to be presented with the marketing objectives that are available to you. And there's quite a few to choose from. And so depending on what your campaign is all about, you are going to pick a different marketing objective. So for the purpose of this example, we're the Social Cafe, we're a cafe in Sydney, and we're new. So we're wanting to get the word out to everybody. And I have an offer where I'm going to offer a free coffee for the first 30 people that come down to the cafe, and they can claim their free coffee. So for me, I want to reach people that don't necessarily know about us, and it's about reaching as many people as possible. So we don't have a massive following. We're a new brand. So for me, that I'm going to pick the brand awareness marketing objectives. But there are so many objectives to choose from, and you need to think about where in your marketing funnel and where in your decision-making process your messaging will sit. So for me, awareness campaign. I want people to be made aware of the Social Cafe, hence why I picked brand awareness, or you could even pick reach. Now think about consideration. The consideration phase you'll see is where most of the marketing objectives lie. And that's because if you think about different types of businesses and what the consideration stage is for them and their buyers, let's consider a fast fashion store, maybe like the Iconic. They might want to have consideration ads that help to build some audiences before they move to conversion. So it's like it could be sending traffic to a fashion blog. It could be running posts that encourage people to engage with their ads. It could be running videos. See how my mouse is going down to each of these different marketing objectives. So they might run a video, and so the objective for that ad is to help me consider the iconic for my next fashion purchase. And then later on, I'll likely get retargeted with a conversion ad. So you really do need to consider where your buyer is for each of the messages that you're going to be, communicating to them. So again, for this example, we're going to use brand awareness. So you select your marketing objective, and then you have to give your campaign a name. And the main reason for that is you could just leave it as brand awareness that was pre-populated for you. But I guarantee you, as soon as you start building multiple campaigns in the ads manager, you want to know the difference between each of them. So don't leave it as the marketing objective, give it a name. So mine is a free coffee offer. And there's some options here about split testing and campaign budget optimization. I'll briefly touch on campaign budget optimization in a moment when we hit the ad set level. But for now, we're going to leave both of these off. Split testing is once you know your way around the ads manager a little bit more and you want to be a little bit more crafty and optimize and test different things out. But for now, just for the nice simple example, we're going to leave those as they are and we're going to hit continue. Now, this is where we get to the ad set level. And you can see on the left-hand side here, this shows you exactly what is covered in each of the levels. So just then we set up the campaign and we set our marketing objective. The next level is the ad set level. And even though there's only 3 points here, and this one looks like there's heaps more, I call this level the chunky level. And that is because this is where pretty much all the really important information is saved. In the ad set, this is where you will set up your audiences. This is where you will identify the placements. That means, do you want a Facebook newsfeed ad? Do you want an Instagram stories ad? The placement. You can actually pick all placements, or you can identify only certain placements and you can cherry pick the ones that you want. This is where you'll also set your budget and your schedule. So let's kick things off. We're a local cafe. We're in Sydney. I'm going to have, for the purpose of this example, a pretty simple audience. I'm a bricks and mortar store. So me running an ad to different locations outside of Sydney is quite irrelevant because who's really going to travel for a coffee? And I'm a cafe and I have a small budget. So I'm really only going to target people in the Sydney area. So I will call my ad set local Sydney audience. And again, you want to name your ad sets because you want to know what's contained within it just so you can really identify all the different ad sets. The more you start building campaigns and ad sets, you are going to get a whole list of them, and you want to know that this ad set belongs to this campaign and that ad set belongs to that campaign. So really be able to differentiate them. So we're calling it local Sydney audience. Now here is where we'll set our audiences. So custom audiences would be things like pre-populated lists, databases, that sort of thing. Lookalikes you could drop in here, and any saved audiences. I have actually saved an audience here called Sydney Local, and I could use that. So we're going to click on that, and you'll see that I actually pre-populated an audience that was everybody in Sydney within a 40-kilometre radius, aged between the 26 and 65 plus. Now you can actually set that up manually, but if you have a saved audience and you want to use that, you just select it there. Placements. I said earlier, you can actually run all placements, which is actually recommended by Facebook. Facebook like to be able to place your ad where they see fit. However, if you might just be really good on Instagram and you know that your audience is on Instagram. So you can actually edit those placements by selecting this little button here. And as you see, when I did that, this big drop down came, and you can see I can select the platform here, Facebook, Audience Network, Instagram, Messenger. Let's say I just want to advertise on Instagram. I want to run just an Instagram ad. So I deselected those, and you'll see Instagram is still ticked. And as I was unticking them, all of these other boxes got unticked. So let's also untick stories, because the image that I have is actually not really suitable for a stories ad. So we're just going to leave it on Instagram Explore and Instagram Feed. I'm going to keep going down. Now, here's some really interesting things. You can actually go all mobile devices, and I tend to just leave this as is. But look, you can actually target Android devices only or iOS devices only. How nifty is that? Imagine if you had a product or service, like you wanted to sell iPhone cases. You could actually just target people with iPhones. That's pretty handy if you know that that's available to you. The other great thing here is only when connected to Wi-Fi. If you have ads that are really video heavy, you can make sure that your ads only go to people when they're on their mobile, only when they're on Wi-Fi on their mobile, which is phenomenal. It just means that if you have those long videos, the chances of somebody watching that on their phone, not that high. They might be data conscious, so they might decide not to watch it. So by having it just to people who are connected to Wi-Fi, that's going to just narrow your audience a little bit more, but make it more effective. This next section is where you set your budget. Now, as a cafe, we don't have a big budget, so I'm going to set a $10 a day budget. And you could set a lifetime budget as well. See, lifetime budget just means it's one budget for a certain time period. So it starts on day 1 and it ends on day 7, for instance. But I like using daily budgets, so I'm going to leave that as is. And this gives me an estimate for how much I'll spend over a 7-day period. And when we're charged by impressions. And with this delivery type, I've just left it as standard. So we're going to hit continue. Okay, great. This is where we're going to build the ads. The actual ad that you see on your phone or on your computer as you're scrolling through Facebook or Instagram. This is the actual ad creative. Some people like to put in multiple ads, and you can do that. So under one ad set, you can have multiple ads. This is one ad. So you would build one ad, and then if you wanted another one, you would go back into the ad set and create another ad. This is where we select the, as it says here, identity, format, the media, text and links, languages, and tracking. So the identity simply means the name of the business that is going to be on the ad. Now, for this example, we don't have an Instagram page for the Social Cafe, but that doesn't matter. You could still run ads on Instagram, which is really great. And if you don't have an Instagram page or you don't have it connected to your business manager, you can actually select this drop down called Use Selected Page, and the business manager will actually just select the name and the icon from the Facebook page that's connected to your business manager. So we'll just leave that as is. Then we're going to create our ad. It's already selected a single image for us, and that's what our ad is going to be. And we're just going to scroll down. The media simply means, is it a still image? Is it a video? We're going to, for ad 1, it's pre-selected one that came from our page. You just select change image. We're going to use this nice, delicious coffee image. If you didn't have the photos in here, you would select this upload button, and you can actually select the files that you want to upload, but I've preloaded that for us. And then we're going to keep scrolling down, and this is where you get to start to see your ad. Now, right now, it has preloaded some copy that actually got pulled from our Facebook page. So I'm going to delete that, and instead I'm going to say free coffee offer. For the first 30 people only. Really simple, just for the purpose of this example. You can add a website URL. If you click this button, a little drop down will enable you to put in the URL which you want. Or if you unselect this, sorry, there you go, you've got this call to action button as well. So we don't have one for this, the social cafe. It's not a real URL, so it might not like that I put that in there. Oh, it does. And you can then select the button, the call to action button, which is what you want on every single ad. So it could be contact us, for instance. Right. I'm going to actually delete all that because we don't have a URL. So this is what the ad will look like on Instagram. And here is really great. You can actually see the examples on different feeds. So that's the Explore feed. And it shows video, but we don't have a video, so it actually won't show you anything. So we're just going to leave that there. And if you're happy with the way that your ad looks, and you know that you've selected the right format, you've got the image that you want, you've got the copy that you want, and then you've got the ad set, so you've got the audiences and the placements and the budgets, and you've got your right campaign objective, and this little builder helps tick everything for you, right? Then you can actually come down here. You have this languages section. So if you want to run an ad in other languages, but more importantly, there's this tracking section. Now, we currently don't, for this example, we don't have our Facebook Pixel connected, but I highly encourage you to have your Facebook Pixel installed on your site so that you can track all of the ads. And it allows you to retarget. So whilst I will turn that on, it's going to tell me that that's not active, so we're not going to worry about it. And then we're ready to go. So I can actually review everything by clicking on that review button. So this is my complete campaign order, not just my ad. So my draft campaign, I can review everything. Yeah, brand awareness, I've got the name right. Then the ad set level. It's the audiences, it's the budget, it's the placement. There's other things, but they're the key things to know. And then the ad. Oh, did we not give our ad a name? Always give your ad a name. Free. This is why the review section is so great. Free coffee. Ad V1. Now, I'm calling it V1 because I might want to run the same ad with a video, or I might want to create a similar ad with different copy and test those, or run them to different people. So I actually just want to ensure that I give each ad a name and don't just leave what was regularly there. And then all you need to do is hit confirm. And then you just wait a little bit, and then Facebook will publish your campaign, all 3 tiers of it, and it will go into review, and that will sit in review from anywhere from 15 minutes to even 24 hours. It all depends on how busy the ads platform is. If you think about around Christmas time, around Cyber Monday, Black Friday, that sort of thing, you might actually have to have your ads waiting for approval for quite some time. So I'm not going to hit confirm because this is just a faux campaign, but that's what you do. That is your 3 levels. So when you structure your campaign, you saw how we built it. That means you have to consider all of those levels when you're planning out your campaign. So what is the campaign and marketing objective? Then who am I targeting? Where do I want my people to see my ad? How much do I want to spend per day? Then what is the actual ad that I want people to see? And you can have multiple ads under one ad set. Let's just say I want people in Sydney to see different ads with different images and videos and things like that. And then let's just say for Valentine's Day, I want to run a special promotion that's maybe targeted just at women. I could set up another ad set under that campaign where I might just target women, and then the ad creative might just be Valentine's Day offer, because you can have multiple ad sets under one campaign, and you can have multiple ads under one ad set. And there you have it. They're the 3 tiers. So I hope this video has helped to explain how to structure your Facebook ad campaign. And so now I hope when it comes for you to plan your Facebook ad campaign, things are a lot easier. And then when you come into the Ads Manager to build it yourself, you're not trying to come up with things at the last minute. You've actually really considered and thought it through. And all it is just placing the order, because that's all this is. We're placing an order with Facebook. This is literally placing an order. We can review the order, and once we're happy with it, we hit confirm. And Then you just wait for it to process, and then it's ready to go. So if you found this video useful and you're loving the hints and the tips that we're sharing on our YouTube channel, I really highly recommend that you subscribe, because we are going to keep creating more of these, and we're going to teach you more and more how to really be a bang-on social media manager. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel and you'll learn more hints and tips.